Hello, my wonderful people, and welcome to another episode of Real Estate Center's University Series. Today we will be talking about how to prepare your home for sale, the top 5 things to do, which is obviously a high-level list with quite a few subcategories. But grab a piece of paper and maybe start writing some of these things down. If you are considering selling your home in the near future, you may need to budget some time to maximize the dollars that you get, because the time that you put in before selling your home is going to pay off huge if you follow this checklist and of course you do all the right things. Number one, absolute number one is everybody's first impression. You only get one opportunity to make a first impression. And it's huge. It leaves a lasting imprint. It gives off the vibe for the entire showing of a potential buyer of your property. So we always start with curb appeal. Number one is curb appeal. So we're talking about the sidewalks. We're talking about the color of your grass. We're talking about the condition of your driveway. We're talking about the overall look and feel of your property. So what you want to do as far as improving and maintaining curb appeal and making that first impression to anybody approaching your home is the following. If you're thinking of selling, you want to ensure that if your door and your garage door are not spick and span, that's probably the first thing you want to do. Give your front door and your garage a fresh coat of paint, Make sure that your driveway is resealed. A couple buckets of liquid asphalt from any of the home improvement stores is going to run you a couple $100, and it's an afternoon job that you can do yourself. There's tons of YouTube videos about it, and you can figure out how to get that done. It's going to give your home a nice crisp look. It's going to have a nice black pavement. If you have interlock, you need to give it a nice fresh seal so it looks just redone. You want to patch up your grass if you're selling in the spring throughout the fall. If it's the winter, you want to make sure everything is well shoveled and clean and salted. But you want it to be neat and clean in appearance. If you have brushes, if you have little bushes, if you have trees, you want them to be pruned and you want it to be nice and tidily landscaped. You want to take a look at all the frames of your windows. If you have older wooden framed in windows, you want to make sure that they're freshly painted and or in good repair. If you have vinyl, you don't have too much to worry about. As far as looking over your home, if you have any chipped bricks, if you have anything that needs to be repaired and cleaned up, now is a great time to do it. Why? Because it's not going to be something that a buyer can use against the home when in the offer negotiation process much down further. So make sure that your outside of your premises are in good repair, they're clean, neat, and tidy. As far as anything else on the outside, I would consider actually your garage part of the outside. To a lot of people, it is part of the outside. And what I'll say about that is if your garage is a cluttered mess, and most people's are. That's kind of where people put their storage items if they don't use it for their vehicles. So it's not uncommon to have a packed, very busy garage. However, for the purposes of selling, you want the garage to be nearly empty. You want people to be able to visualize their 1 or 2 vehicles, depending on or more vehicles, depending on the garage. But you also want them to be able to say, where am I going to put all my stuff from selling my home or moving from the other home here? Well, there's tons of room in this garage. There's huge space in the garage. So the more clean and organized something is, the more it attracts people. So let's leave the garage space to the outside. So just as a quick summary, make sure your sidewalks, your driveway, your doors, your windows, anything that puts that first impression on somebody is nice, clean, and tidy. Let's have that driveway and resealed. Let's have the garage emptied and organized. And let's get that outside prepared for the sale of the home. Number 2, big number 2, we're talking about a deep clean of your home. So what we need to do is we need to step outside of you being the homeowner, outside of this being your home for just a second. We're preparing to sell this home. We're going to have prospective buyers coming through your home. The reason they're coming through is not to take a look at your stuff. You need to depersonalize your home. You need to declutter your home. You need to do a real deep clean. Remove any, like if you're a pet owner, I don't want to see a single hair anywhere. And this is coming from an agent to a client. This is coming advice to you. If I'm the buyer of your home, I don't want to be able to see anything that has to do with your life. I want to be able to visualize my life. I want to be able to picture myself in this home with my family, with my pets running around. So, number one, do a huge deep clean. I'm talking about carpets. I'm talking about grout lines and tile. I'm talking about start from the top and go all the way to the bottom. Make sure you're decluttering along the way. Get everything out of the home. Depersonalize as much as you can and within reason. But I mean, all knickknacks and things that are personal to you, they really shouldn't be around. When you get to the kitchen and bathroom, less goes a long way. Less is more. Why is less more? When you have a kitchen and you have everything, just like any regular running home, you're going to have your vitamins out. You're going to have maybe a medication, a couple loaves of bread on the countertop. When you're selling your home, it's time to go away from every single thing that you do normally and do things the way somebody wants to look at a home for sale. You want to think designer magazines. You want to think counter space. You want to think small staging that's going to come into play after. But the bottom line is take out all your stuff. Take away everything that you do normally. You want to expose as much room and as much of this home as you can, giving the potential buyer the opportunity to visualize themselves there, to take a look at the advantages of your home versus their small cramped home now. Even though it's, in some cases it may be an illusion of space, at the end of the day it's up to them to make that decision. But you need to create openness, calm, and the ability for the buyer to visualize themselves in there. Above and beyond the deep clean, above and beyond the declutter and reorg. And we can always respond. If you have questions as to the best ways to declutter something or to kind of hone in on any one of these points, let us know. We're here to help. We've done this literally thousands of times, from the smallest condos to the biggest mansions. We've sold them all. And over the years, you really do start putting together lists on things based on things and experiences you've gone through, and we've seen a lot. I mean, we've seen it all, and not to pick on anybody or anything, but I mean, people out there have different circumstances, and we've been to homes that hoarding was an issue. We've been to homes that it was too minimalistic, but there is nothing that can't be done to bring a home to par, to kind of balance the scales and bring it to where the majority of people are going to be looking at your home for the specific type of home. Number three is a big one. So number three is, now we're talking maximizing dollars and where do we allocate our biggest and most time and resources. Number three is the kitchen. The kitchen is the focal point of any home. The kitchen is where life happens. This is where it all begins. We're talking about from food preparation to hanging out. The kitchen has really become a space where people hang out. The new open concept design homes in the last even 30 years, since the kind of the formal dining room has dissipated, the kitchen is where it happens. So we see all the islands, we see kind of the dinettes right next to the kitchen, kind of bigger, longer kitchens to facilitate life the way it's lived now. So the kitchen is very important. If your kitchen is a brand new modern kitchen, you don't have much to worry about. But 80% of homes have a kitchen that's 10 years or older. And what does that mean? That means that if you want to maximize the dollars of your home sale, you're going to have to take a look at doing a little bit of updating. The majority of it is cleaning and just kind of upgrading a couple things, and we'll talk about that. And what I want to get into is how to spend as little as possible as a homeowner and a home seller to maximize those dollars. So if you do have an older kitchen, the first thing you may want to look at is, are your cupboards paintable? If they are paintable, a fresh coat of paint on those cupboards will go a long, long way. Are kind of the knobs, the pulleys, all the hardware on your cupboards, are those out of date? Could you go to the store, spend a couple $100 on brand new brushed nickel or whatever your home decor calls for? Could you get some new modern knobs? knobs and hardware for the cupboards. That will go a long way, because that's now, if you paint and put new hardware on your cupboards, it's almost like a brand new kitchen. It's that big of a difference. Do you have mismatched appliances? Is it worth you spending a couple $1,000 on a brand new suite that's all matching? That's one of the biggest factors that people look at. People are about to spend anywhere between, doesn't matter whether it's $500,000 or $1 million on a home. And people come to the kitchen, and I've seen this thousands of times, and they take a look at the appliances. Appliances are, let's call it $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 at most. But they're about to spend $1 million, and they'll make a decision on $1 million based on the kitchen appliances. So do never forget and never underestimate what drives people. People want to get the most they can included. So if you can give that kitchen that brand new look for a couple thousand, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 with a brand new kitchen suite of appliances, and those are included in the sale, those are going to yield you $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 more, because these people are going to feel that I don't have to touch my kitchen. I'm getting a home with an updated kitchen, brand new appliances, and they kind of forget about it, and they're not going to use that in the negotiation coming days after you list your home. So kitchen was huge, and we're going to move on, of course, to none other than the bathroom. I mean, the bathroom is going to be number 4. Number 4 is just as important in the eyes of a buyer. Excuse me, because that's a major space where people like to relax. I mean, with the busy lifestyles that people live now, everybody's looking for their home to be their sanctuary. And I mean, that hasn't changed in the ages of time, but now more than ever, people are looking to make their home more of an experience than just somewhere that they go to lay their head. So after a long day work, people are looking always to have a spa washroom or a steam shower, and all these luxuries of the past are not kind of becoming the norm. And what I mean by that is that there's discerning buyers out there, and they're looking for a bigger bang for their buck. When you're looking at your washroom right now, if you were to run to your washroom and take a look at it, what would it be? Would the bathtub require some caulking around? Would your grout lines need to be cleaned and repainted potentially? Does the kitchen vanity, excuse me, the bathroom vanity need to be replaced? Does it have hair iron stains on it? Has the laminate been burnt? Is it made of quartz? Whatever your bathroom may look like now, you want to step outside your home that you know how everything got there and think fresh from the eyes of a new buyer. If you were buying this property, what would you like to see? So there's very, very inexpensive things and ways that you can replace old washrooms. If your flooring is completely out of date in the washroom and you're thinking it's a big job, it's not. Home improvement materials have come a long, long way. When you walk into a big box home improvement store, any of them, and you take a look at the vinyl flooring section, it will blow your mind. Because once laid on the floor, you will never be able to tell what that material is. Vinyl flooring is not cheap, by the way. It sounds like it may be, but it's not. But because it's such an easy installation, you save tremendous amount of dollars on installation, bringing the price of the whole job down. Basically, you're looking for a 100 square foot washroom, even if the high-end vinyl flooring is $5 a square foot. We're talking about a $500 material. And now to install it, call even a few $100s for any handyman / flooring contractor to put that in. You're looking at under $1,000, and you're going to make a tremendous impact to the washroom. It actually changes everything. So you're going to change the floor, you're going to recaulk the tub, wash the grout lines, get a nice modern curtain, and you're off to the races. So we have number 1, we have curb appeal, the outside. Number 2, deep clean, declutter. Number 3 is the kitchen. We talked about all the things there, and you're always welcome to come back to us and talk about that. Number 4 are the washrooms. Number 5 is most often forgotten, and I'm not sure how and why, but it's about the master bedroom. It's about the master bedroom and the master bedroom closets. Most detached homes have a master bedroom. Most detached homes built from 1985 on did include, in most cases, of course, walk-in closets, whether they're his and hers or one combined walk-in closet. In most cases, you actually also have a master ensuite washroom, and the washroom in the ensuite is going to have the same treatment as any other washroom. If it needs to be updated, it's an investment that's going to pay itself fivefold. But what I wanted to talk about, and kind of the one I notice when I go to even brand new big homes in mansions, people forget to organize their master closet. Let's pretend myself and my wife, we have 2 kids, we're house shopping. And there's absolutely no doubt that I know how much stuff we have accumulated over time, how much clothes I have accumulated over time. I've been working in a professional environment for 20 years. So there's suits that I've forgotten to give to Goodwill. There is 30 shirts I haven't worn in more than 5 years that need to be purged and decluttered. And I'm talking about myself. I mean, everybody has kind of the same problems. But decluttering your master closet, making it look bigger than it is, making it look roomier than it is, making it organized spick and span, not only gives the prospective buyer the ability to see themselves fitting well into this home, it also leaves them feeling tidy. Something about structure and order makes people feel a certain way. If you walk in the closet and it's upside down, what do you think you will feel? You'll feel, well, it's all stuffed and cluttered, they're small. No. What you want to do is you want to give the impression and, of course, showcase the home. When somebody's walking into a perfectly stacked rack of towels that fit perfectly in the corner, right beside it is everything else that goes along the linen closet. It doesn't matter what it is. Something about structural cleanliness and tidiness gives that feeling to the buyer that's going to leave that impression that when they walk out of your home, they're going to remember your home. And even if it didn't work to them as well as a different home, if they feel a certain way about your home, if they feel that they can belong there, that they saw that structure there, they're going to come back. They're going to really consider this home and put it on top of their list. Anyways, I can go on forever. I really appreciate your time. As always, hit the subscribe button. Always be checking us out. We're always bringing the most relevant info that we can. If you have any questions at all, or if you're looking for further tips, don't hesitate to send us an email. You can always visit us online at www.therealestatecenter.com. You can hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, and of course right here on YouTube. Until next time, my name is Simeon Papa-Elias. On behalf of my partner and I, thank you so much for watching and spending your time with us. Cheers.